Hello YouTube, I'm back again with another video. I finally got some exciting news, especially something that should have happened sooner or later. They're finally banning transgender women from the women's swimming and the Olympics. And this is no any type of way of shape or form of me going after or being a hypocrite or antagonizing anyone, because let me explain the gist of it. Is that men who claim that they're women and who decide to join the Women Olympics, it just seems like an unfair advantage, let's be honest. And although Leah Thomas, she had every to earn her piece, to earn her keep, because they were working for the Olympics, but at the same time, let's make it fair, as I know there are people who get easily offended. Like I think I said this in my previous video talking about this topic, they should include Olympics for transgenders, so that way it seems more legitimate, so people don't get confused, and that women have an opportunity to face off against each other, because as equals we need to spar against our own genders rather than another, because you'll notice there's a huge type of disadvantage, because men are born with more physically, and they tend to have more stamina compared to a lot of women, depending how they train their bodies. And with women, they need the opportunity to embrace themselves, so that, yeah, there should be a challenge, but they need to spar against each other in equals. And people could say that people are basically implying that Leah Thomas cheated. I can't really say he or she cheated, to be honest. You could say the Olympics didn't, like, the management or the people responsible for the Women Olympics did not see the flaw behind their sport, behind the event. They realized that women are better off facing off against one another, and they should realize the aspect that men have the advantage towards women in sports may not be everything, depending if they are athletes. And this definitely need to be sorted out immediately, which they decide to do right now, because they realize and let's be honest, this happens to be the first transgender woman to win first place in the Olympics. So once they notice the comparison, once they realize there was, by judging from watching the Olympics, the women that were facing off against each other and them having competition against each other, they realize this need to be fixed pronto, and this is the way to handle it, because I understand there needs to be equality, it needs to be fair for everybody else, but at the same time, whether transgenders want to compete in Olympics, especially whether you are born a man, then compete with the men, personally, because then you'll notice that it's not so easy now that you're up against someone who's physically built the way you are, and that you can't make excuses and say, oh, I want to join the women, because this is how I truly feel about myself. I feel like I was born a woman when entirely you were a man, and no, I know I'm not being disrespectful. What I'm saying is that transgenders have the right to they have every right to join people in hobbies. They have every right to do sports just like every rest of the human beings like us. But what I'm saying is that it needs to be fair. There needs to be opportunities for them to, if personally, I think if they consider themselves women, or or they come and vice versa. I don't know if this will happen sooner or later, but I personally believe there needs to be Olympics for transgenders, and it's not to be disrespectful. So these people can have the opportunity, so they won't feel embarrassed, they don't feel uncomfortable, so they have the chance to be willing to do sports and be able to compete and show off their athleticism. Because I explained it before, women and men do not have the same capabilities, because men are a lot stronger. It is even said throughout, like from where I'm come from, whether you play sports, you always have to pit men against each other, just like how you always pit women against each other, because they are men to face off against each other. It is completely different if you're in a relationship. That's fine, because that's how people procreate and they create more athletes. But again, Leah Thomas should be proud, but like, I'm glad that person appreciates they really felt like they earned it, they achieved it. But now he or she needs to realize that she needs to move forward and find somebody that he or she can compete with, someone who's more competitive, to realize that it should not be this easy, so that you don't always have the upper hand when it comes to facing out against someone who you know does not compare to your level, who does not have the same standard as men. And I'm talking about women. And women now, because we all know there are a lot of athletic women, but the thing is, it is very difficult for women to compete with men because of the size advantage. And it's not being sexist, I'm not being a hypocrite. Let's be real. Women will have a tough time dealing with men, and I apologize. Again, hope you guys enjoy the video. Apparently my picture's not showing up, but hope you guys get the gist of what I'm saying, that the Olympics for women, they should not be up against men, and they need to be in their own place in life so that they can feel good about themselves, they feel comfortable, and they realize that there isn't anything backwards about it. And much appreciated, they deserve much love, as well as transgender people. And again, hope you guys enjoy the video. Be sure to check for more upcoming content later in the future. Be sure to check your notifications. Comment, like, subscribe. Thank you. And I gotta fix this photo right now. I gotta find a way to get it back. Alright, see you guys.